Osenka, the fall-run Atlantic salmon. That's why everybody comes here, that's the catchword.
Russia is a very wild place. You can see it around the scenery here. It's very untouched by man.
I think the Ponoi is a very special river because at the moment it's one of the very few rivers that we have where there is a healthy population of natural salmon.
Just amazing experience. I mean, the amount of salmon that you see, that you catch, and the takes that you get, it's just out of this world.
There was something that very much coined my fishing. I didn't realize it until probably a day later that I caught actually my first salmon, and it's something I worked so hard for. It just happened.
The first gateway to the Ponoi River is Helsinki.
My heart beats in patterns with a broken sound.
You can then sober up on the private charter from Helsinki to Murmansk. From there on, you will take a helicopter, big old Russian Mi-8 chopper that will take you over the tundra right into the heart of the Atlantic salmon fishery.
I'm a free animal, free animal.
So flying over this incredible scenery, you can immediately get a sense for the sheer vastness of this place. And then you're finally there. You're at the Stairway of Heaven, the Riabaga camp. It's the biggest settlement in its 20 years of existence on the banks of the Ponoi River. In fact, the camp is so big that one might get lost, just like our team did on the first night when we were trying to chase the northern lights all around the camp to find the perfect angle for long exposures. And, well, that's our home far away from home for a week of fishing, and we're quite excited to be here. It's interesting to see the different angles on Atlantic salmon fishing, having Paulo in his first season of Atlantic salmon fishing and Christof, who's been fishing for Atlantic salmon for the better part of the last 15 years. And they both join here together to chase these magnificent fish.
Fly fishing itself started for me when I was about 12 years old, but it's not so easy for young guys to get into it because first of all, a lot of rivers are very expensive to fish, and second of all, it's perceived as a very traditional and elite sport, and therefore it's quite hard for people like me, students or even younger guys, to get into it. In Europe, it's not easy to catch a salmon. I started fishing in Norway the first time, and in my first week fishing, I only touched one fish in 1 week fishing, and it's frustrating. But this frustration is also something that motivates you, and now I'm here at a different river in Russia.
My experience in many years of salmon fishing is if it's about salmon fishing, there's always something, you know, like the weather is not good, the water level is not good, so there's always something. I think very special in the Ponoi River is that healthy stock of fish. You know, you have a big natural population, and Also different to other rivers, you have a summer run and you have the fall run. These fall run fish, because they stay in the river for a longer time, they're strong and they're really tough fish.
And it's actually the majority of the fish. 90% of the fish in the Ponoi River are fall run fish. They are built to stay in the river for up to 18 months. So the fall run fish, they will push in, they will overwinter with the summer run fish who are already colored, and they will spawn the next autumn season. So quite literally, you fish over 3 runs of fish if you fish the autumn season here at the Ponoi River. And it's just impressive. These Osenka, they are very healthy, fat fish. There's not a single soft spot on them. Some of them are size of a grills with the weight of a proper Atlantic salmon. It's pretty cool.
And for me, this is my opportunity to learn. It gives you the chance to learn a lot of things about fishing for salmon, and a lot about the fish itself. And this is the point, if you go to a Norwegian river or a Swedish river where you maybe catch 1 or 2 fish in a week, it takes you a lot of years to get a certain level of experience. And here, where you have this frequency of bites and where you have a big run of fish, this experience is literally gained within a week.
Many people think that the Ponoi is an old man river, you sit in a boat, you know, very relaxed fishing, but I think that's not the truth. The truth is that this river has so many options, you know, you have that wonderful long banks, there is no single place where you can't catch a fish. If you look at the river, there's boulders everywhere, there's big rocks, and there's lots of nice currents. You would just think there is salmon everywhere, but you have to cast all day, but that's the fun of it.
It's not only the number of fish that run up the Ponoi that people come here for. I think it's this chance of catching this one magical 20-pound plus fresh Osenka fish.
Okay, let's get another one.
And obviously everybody that comes here is hoping and waiting and fighting for this one fish that makes the trip in the end.
It's hard work, obviously, because you sleep half the amount or less that you would normally do, but this is it.
If you want to get good at something, you got to be out there and do it.
My heart beats in patterns with a broken sound. You're the only one that can calm me down. My head spins in circles, so I'm dizzy now. All of this time I should have figured it out. I'm a free animal, free animal. I'm a free animal, free animal. Free animal, free animal. My heart beats in patterns through the broken sound. Free animal. You're the only one that can calm me down.
Fresh anchor from Ponoi.
You never know, it can be fish of your lifetime, it can also be just a small one, but you can find the fish here everywhere, it's just that you have to go for them. So let's see. Out of nothing you expected, that suddenly something's pulling on the line, and that's pretty cool.
The only one that can calm me down. Free animal, free animal. My heart beats in patterns through the broken sound. Free animal, free animal. You're the only one that can calm me down. Free animal, free animal. My heart beats in patterns through the broken sound. Free animal. You're the only one that can calm me down.
So this is what the Ponoi is known for, and this is what we mean with consistency. Everybody has touched fish on day number 1 already, but what everybody's secretly hoping for is that magic 20-pound fish, that 20-pound silver chrome Osenka. Well, and we just got to keep on casting, because it's salmon fishing after all. It was our crew here at Fly Fishing Nation, and it was Isaias, outdoor photographer from Patagonia, which I admire. I love his work. It was a great honor to meet him here. And it's funny how one party is chasing lights and images, the other party is chasing salmon, and then I'm the bastard right in the middle, chasing both salmon and light.
I got into photography by fishing, so that was my way to get in. And over the time I had to choose. I've been trying so many times to do both at the same time, and it's totally impossible for me. I've been asked by people who doesn't fish, who doesn't fly fish, and they were asking me like, what's the moment on fly fishing photography? What you're chasing at? At first I started trying to explain, and I was like thinking, how do I explain? After a while I just realized, well, the first you gotta do is go and learn how to fly fish and do it yourself and experience what you feel, and then you'll find what you're chasing. And that's gonna be the way to express it too. It's like any art, I guess. If you're trying to express something you're not living, it's not that easy, or sometimes you never get there. You know, every new place I go to, every new place I meet, once you've been there enough to know what's like there, what's fishing, what's everything around photography, I kind of got fulfilled with that. But the Ponoi, this is kind of the call of the Ponoi. It's one of those places that even being there before, for some reason made me come over and over and still have that feeling that makes me wish to come back.
I think salmon fishing is to some extent a team sport.
But any other fishing doesn't really prepare you for it. You could fish for trout all your life, you wouldn't be a better salmon angler because it's a totally different behavior of the fish. The fish doesn't feed in the water, it just wants to run up river. And this is also the cool thing about it, because you know the one tug could be the fish of your lifetime.
But no one really knows. There's no secrets. It's just a lot of uncertainties, and since there's no right answer, there's also no wrong answer to it.
Flesh and bones won't lie.
It was fucking cool.
They won't lie. My heart beats in patterns to the broken sound.
So we're fishing a drop right next to Christof, and all of a sudden we all turn around because we hear a reel screaming, and secretly we're all hoping that this is the so sought after 20-pound fish.
When everybody is working for this one fish on the week, it's a very special moment when it finally happens. And in the end, this is the best reward you can get for fishing all week and putting in all these hours.
But what many people, I think, are afraid of is not catching a fish, but this is not what it's all about.
Obviously, everyone is working very hard here to get the numbers and to catch this one big fish to take home. But in the end, there's so much more to it, and this is not what it's all about.
It's about the community, about the people that share the same passion, that come all the way to the river and spend a whole week or two or maybe a whole summer to do it. And this is why I think salmon fishing itself is such a deeply rooted community.
And it's just amazing to see people from all over the planet gather here to fish at this river, which is known for its consistency of fish all over the world. And one of the reasons why the salmon population is intact and why the salmon fishing is so consistent is because there is no mentionable human impact on this very ecosystem here.
We used to have good salmon fishing at home. This is why coming here, it's very eye-opening because, you know, this is something that shows us what could have been.
So therefore, I think the only way is just to do that trips every year, because I'm not quite sure if our kids will do it in the future.
We had a talk with a marine biologist who is conducting studies here about the par density. So these guys are out every day working on a sustainable solution for future generations to enjoy this magnificent resource. And Atlantic salmon fishing that is, well, quite frankly, it's got to be one of the best in the world here.